Hello everyone, so in my previous video I talked about the first world and the events that transpired as depicted in the Harley text. Today I will continue the narrative and explain the second world and what happened during that time period. A quick reminder, I think the panel is confusing for some people, but look at it like a manga panel, from right to left. Also, there are people who tell you that the right part of the depiction is the first world and the left part is the second world, and the tree is the dividing line. This is not true. Do not listen to those people. For starting, if you have not watched my explanation about the first world, I highly advise you to watch that video first and then return to this video. Just to recap the events of the first world, the people of the advanced civilization were going deep into the flaming world to obtain the energy source, and the sun god appeared. This action made the earth god angry, and together with the Serpent of Fire, they shrouded the world into darkness. In the void, there was a stirring of breath. In the first world, I believe what the Serpent of Fire did was use the fire, the energy, and hit the ground directly. Due to the absence of light, the life on planet became unbearable. As we all know, the plants and animals need light to grow. I think the resources became scarce and many people died. When the Serpent of Fire used fire energy in the first world, it struck the ground, causing the destruction of the sea stones into the smaller particles, which were carried into the sky. When sea stones are destroyed, they turn into pyroblins, which results from the combination of sea stones and moisture. After the world was shrouded in darkness, pyroblin covered the sky, formed the clouds, and prevented the light from entering the atmosphere. I am not sure if pyroblin would react with the ocean too, or if the ocean was also covered. But even in these disparate times, there was still the presence of life. As the ground became impossible to live on, people began to evaluate their options, where to go from here, and how to escape and survive. Since the land was uninhabitable, they had two options, to go up or to go down. And since the humanity could not afford to go extinct, they split. One group dove below the ocean, while the other flew up into the sky. Why? Let's start with those who boarded the Noah and went below the sea. The one depicted here is the ancient ship of Noah, currently on the Fishman Island. Noah is this giant ship that resembles the Ark from the Bible. And we see the different species of animals and humans in pairs, indicating that these were the people who were escaping some kind of cataclysm. Why under the water in particular? Let me remind you that there are two great trees in One Piece. The first tree is the Adam tree, where Elbaf is located. And the second tree is the Eve tree, which passes through the red line and delivers the light to the Fishman Island. This is the reason why half of the people decided to go deep into the water, because there was still sunlight, and they could start a new civilization there. The person who saved them and delivered them to the salvation took the title of the God of Sea. The second group of people did something even more interesting. They constructed the battleship, similar to the Enel's Ark, and decided to fly into the sky, assuming they had the light somewhere up there. I believe these people took more scientific approach to the problem. They fly into the sky with the aim to land on the moon. Oda already foreshadowed this when we saw a small robots who witnessed the explosion on the moon and decided to investigate and avenge their creator by flying to the moon on balloons. These people landed on the moon and established their civilization. Both groups survived, one under the sea, the other one up in the sky. The person who saved those people and landed them on the moon took the title of God of Forest. We will come back to the moon civilization, but for now, let us continue with the Harley text. The god of forest set the demons, or magic, loose. Let's break this line down. The god of forest created the devils and set them loose. The word tsukawaseta can be interpreted in many ways, but it seems that the god of forest somehow created the devils, or devil fruits. The god of forest and the people of the moon had a basic understanding of the engineering of the ancient civilization. In the depictions Enel encountered on the moon, we see people creating robots, and we also see shapes that could resemble devil fruits themselves. I think the god of forest bioengineered the devil fruits using the ancient technology, similar to what Vegapunk was trying to do on the egghead. Let us continue with the Harley text. The sun god did nothing but spread the fires of war. Here, Bhagavad emphasizes the sense of exclusivity, continuity, or just kept on fueling the conflict. It flames the sun as the force that either could not stop or was fated to provoke ever-growing warfare. I think that the creation of the devil fruits and the devil fruit users, also with the sun spreading the fires of war, stretched across the centuries. This could encompass almost all the events we know before the Void Century. Do you remember when the sky was covered by the pyroblin? Skypiea is made out of sea clouds and island clouds. Island clouds are dense. Over a long period of time, pyroblin, which was not dense at first, became denser due to the atmospheric pressure, and its interaction with moisture eventually formed Skypiea as we know it today. The civilization on the moon survived, but they saw that resources were scarce. Once the sky islands condensed together, the light finally reached the Earth again. The Skypieans, seeing this, decided to return to the Earth. We see a depiction of this on the moon panel Enel encountered, which is why the ruins on the moon were empty, and only small robots remained, because they all returned to Earth. However, some decided to stay in Skypiea, while others returned to Earth. This explains why Shandians and Skypieans both have wings. They are both descendants of the people who escaped to the moon. Also, a fun side note, the manga panel showing them descending to the Earth actually reads, "They flew to the blue planet in search of resources." When Yuri Gagarin, the first person who traveled to space, looked at Earth, he famously said, "The Earth is blue." Let's move to the next line of Harley text. The people of the half moon dreamed, the people of the moon dreamed. This could hint at the multiple moon-related clans. While the sun spread the fires of war, war raged. The earth was devastated, and people who escaped with the ark in the sky dreamed of one day returning to their rightful place. Or perhaps they dreamed of peace. Whatever their dream was, at that point, they could only dream, as they were powerless to do anything. And so, disaster and suffering continued. The people of the moon are clearly those who stayed on the moon and later populated the Sky Island. The people of the half moon are the Kozuki clan and people of Wano. Kozuki literally translates to light moon, which already establishes their connection to the moon. Their clan crest contains the symbol of Nika inside, and the bird on the crest resembles the half moon. The half moon shaped tattoos were the sacred symbol worn by the Kozuki loyalists, who were waiting for the prophecy of Oden's return, more accurately, the return of the Joy Boy via Luffy. Before the Void Century and before the return of the Joy Boy, all these people could do was wait and dream. From here, we switch to the events depicted on the left side of the tree. Joy Boy returned. He spread the liberation, gathered his allies, and confronted Imu. Now, let's continue with the next line. Humans killed the sun, became gods themselves, and the sea god raged. When Joy Boy returned, he gathered all the people who were scattered around the world. Some humans, in the final confrontation with Imu, killed him. I think these are the humans we see facing the opposite direction in the shadows of Imu. Like celestial dragons, they were wearing helmets themselves. I do not know if they were actually part of Joy Boy's team and betrayed him, leading to his defeat, or if they were against him all along. But after killing him, they seem to have also defeated Joy Boy's allies and declared themselves as gods, the celestial dragons. They falsified history, depicted Joy Boy's allies as villains, and formed the world government. To the world, they claimed they had won the war and defeated evil. The story of the first 20 kingdoms uniting to form the world government is a lie, because clearly the celestial dragons are the ones who truly have the power, and Imu is the one who actually rules the world. The god of sea, after seeing these events, went into the rage. Maybe this is why the Sea Kings are so hostile to the people, why they roam the Calm Belt and the Grand Line, to prevent the world government and Imu from fully extending their domination over the sea. At the end we see the same line again. They would never meet again. This implies the total fracture or separation after this devastating event. Events after this lead directly into the Void Century, the isolation of nations, and formation of the world government. This concludes the story of the second world of One Piece. The first world seemed more magical, since the technology was so advanced, and mystical because it happened so long ago. The second world, however, is closer to the events of the world we encounter today. That's why I think there is so much information here that I was not able to cover everything in this video. In my next video, I will discuss the third world of One Piece, which follows the most recent events after the Void Century, if you call 800 years recent. As always, thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and see you next time.